Hello. Oh, hey guys, welcome back to a video. It's been forever. I look a little different. I have a little hair on top and a little hair on bottom. Anywho, it's been like a hot minute since I did a hobby update, and a ton of stuff has happened. Um, and to be quite frank, I don't know where I left off. So I guess we'll just go piece by piece and see what we got. I guess to start off, had a little bit of an issue with my Sauron here. He's 3D printed, so his top little thing here came off and broke. So I had to, and also he came unglued from his base there, so a little bit of a problem child. Anywho, I rebased this cave troll I had from a bit ago. They have to be on a 60mm base now, so he's rebased. I just have to paint it, and if I want to add fun, cool stuff, I can. But other than that, he's completely normal. I also bought this other cave troll. You might have seen him as a fully unpainted metal model. But now he's fully painted up. I did a little bit of a different... I don't know if this is focused or not. Sorry, guys, if it's not. A little bit of a different color scheme than the original one, but still very similar. He's still got that bluish hide with the gray back. So he's done. He also is based on a 60mm. Artillery Witch, she is glued up. I tried doing some weathering effect on that bomb there. And, you know, let's see, will this work? Will it autofocus? No, I don't. Maybe I'm missing an autofocus button. Anywho, so I try to get that kind of like rusted, not rusted, but worn copper type thing. These are my OG. Maybe it's my freaking lens. Excuse me, lens. Excuse me. Are you the one that's blurry? It's interesting. So these Warg Riders are originally from the deep past, and I've just been having them sit. They need a final home, so I'm painting those up. Those are almost done. Those are like 90% done. I also repainted some Sleeping Hobbitses. Oh, also, I got a new lamp. This was like 20 bucks on Amazon, and it cycles through a bunch of colors. I won't show you that because it's going to blow out the video. Also, yes, I'm watching Caleb Hammer in the background. Shout out, Caleb Hammer, finance audit dude. What else? I can't remember if I showed. I got new contrast paints. Gajax Sewer is old, but they're all like variations of brown. I use a lot of brown in my minis, so that is what it is. Let's see. Oh, I have a Mouth of Sauron proxy. I really hate how it's not really focused in. I wish you could see the detail on this dude. But he's all. Let me see if I can fix the video. Okay, let's heck and try that to see if that is a little better. Don't ask me. But yeah, Mouth of Sauron. He's pretty cool. He's a proxy. The actual like the for real metal model is like $25 for a foot, and like the other 25 or 30 for mounted, and I'm like, ain't no way. I got some basing materials, which I'll show you some in a second, but I repainted up my old Tom Bombadil and Goldenberry, so now they're on like really cute bases, and they're like adorable and stuff. So they're like husband and wife, or I guess like eternal life partners, or whatever they are in the Tolkien universe. I'm trying to think what else I did. I did some, you know, contrast, slap chop priming for the 3 hunters there. They're technically not the 3 hunters. They're the 2 towers, Helm's Deep versions of those characters, but you know what it is. In the middle there, some unpainted Rohan Riders and Royal Guard. I have an Eomer proxy ready to go. I have like a mounted Eomer already, but like the deal I got on... Why am I saying Eomer? Eomer. Oh, I don't care. I had an original Eomer, but it's only the mounted version, and the deal I found on Etsy just got me both for really, really cheap. Also, this is a big life dream that I had. Not life dream. Oh my gosh, how do words work today? It's Friday. I'm tired. Work is killing me. This is a big life goal for me personally. This is something that I saw as a kid. I was like, I need to have it, but it was just out of my range at the time, money-wise, and where I was in my hobby. But I finally picked one up for cheap. Someone was selling it off for not very much dinero. Yep. It's Durin's Bane. It's a Balrog of Moria. And this doesn't really show how big that is. For reference, for those of you that know, this is the size of a paint pot. So this is like a good 6 inches tall. So he's pretty massive. I tried magnetizing his hand. I drilled some holes into there on either side to see if a magnet will fit in there, because he also comes with his flaming sword, and I wanted this and the whip to be interchangeable in case for whatever reason I wanted it to look a little different, but the magnets were not strong enough and it kept sliding and turning downward. So the only way for it to stay in this position is if I glued it. So he's stuck in that position until I decide to break his hand off and glue the other one again. Which I don't know why I would do that, but I'm gonna keep the other sword anyway. Anywho's, I'm also trying to make some progress on my Morannon orcs. These have been sitting around for years at this point, and I slap chopped them last year at some point. It's been a while, and then I made a mistake and I tried spray painting them white, hoping that would give it that slap chop feel without me having to go over and dry brush every single model. But it turns out that created more work than it saved, because white got into the recesses of the model, and if you know a little bit about painting, you want the darkest parts and the shadow of your model to be more black. So I did have to go over every model individually with some very thin black paint called Nuln Oil to give it back the shadow. And so literally I doubled the work for myself. But I've spent probably 2 or 3 hours painting the red on there. I've done a couple test paints on these guys back here. You can't really see it that well. I did some test paints on those with some metallic armor. I tried to see if I could get it to be like in the pictures, like chainmail. That's it's very dark. It's not supposed to be shiny. It's a very dark type of material. But I found that I'll just do a contrast paint of some brown, and then I'll lightly brush some chainmail color over that to make it look like it's just not very well worked iron. Also have some just standard Mordor orcs right there, slap chopping, ready to go. These look pretty faithful to the movie. I have a bunch of Angmar stuff in this tote down here. You can't really see too well, but if you remember from a previous video, I bought some Oathmark Goblin Warriors, which make good proxies as Mordor orcs. They were cheap. I think they were only $1.25 each or something, and I got 30 of them. So I'm like, oh, I'm good on orcs. It's totally fine. I'll just do this because, the Games Workshop actual Lord of the Rings orcs are really expensive. But I found these Mordor orcs for cheap on eBay. I just had to be patient. I just had to wait for a deal to pop up. And speaking of deals on eBay, something came in the mail literally today, this moment of recording. And I'll show you just now. Yep. It's Lurtz and Ugluk. Metal. Let's go. So pumped for that. Huge fan of the Uruk-hai scouts from the movies. Funnily enough, those scouts left more of an impression on me as a kid, rather than the classic Uruk-hai warriors that you see later in the Two Towers. Now, I do have some Uruk-hai warriors down here. That was probably purchase number 2 or 3 from when I first got back into the hobby all those many years ago with my brother Luke and my grandpa. And so those are still originally painted. Nothing, the paint job has not changed, in, what's it been? 18 years. Oh man, we're old. I may go back over those at some point. I don't know. I have a lot of backlog to do. Oh my gosh. And obviously it's not helping that I keep buying more stuff to paint, which takes time. Also, I have to pause the video right now because I have to show you guys something that's very intimidating isn't the right word for it. I'll just show you. Okay, this is gonna be crazy. Let's show the normal stuff first. So in this, you will see some pretty cool Haradrim warriors. I think there's 24 of them. Spears, two-handed weapons, bows, and then over here I have the original Gondor warriors that I bought all those years ago. They're painted in kind of a bronzy color. Just to start off, I'm gonna go over them more with some other colors and whatnot. But my plan for this box is to kind of have it be themed. So, you know, typically Gondor warriors are actually silver with black clothes, but I wanted to make these guys themed to be guarding the southern edge of Gondor, which bumps right up against the Southlands, which is mostly desert and savanna. That's where the Haradrim are generally from. So I wanted this to be like a theme of like, we have Gondorians guarding the southern border, maybe Boromirs with them. I don't own Faramir at all, but like maybe you have some Gondorian skirmishes happening in the south there against some Haradrim warriors. Maybe a couple orcs kind of zhuzhed in there. Maybe I'll add in one of my themed ring wraiths, which I have. I don't know if you can see that well because the lighting stinks. But they're all themed in different colors. They each have like a name and stuff. A lot of them aren't like officially part of like the game lore, but you can still pretend to be like, oh, this Nazgul was a Haradrim 3,000 years ago or whatever, and you can like throw them in an army to lead or whatever. So that's like my idea for that bucket. Now moving on from that, in this bucket we have not only one, but two second Gondor warrior. These are all Gondor warriors. I think this is probably 30, if I could hazard a guess, maybe 40. It's way too many. I found too many of them on a good deal on eBay, as is most of my purchases. They're all great deals. I try to stick, for like bulk army stuff, I try to stick with each miniature under $2. There have been a few times where like it's been like $2.50 a model, but only if it's like something important, or obviously if it's bigger. Like the Balrog was not $2, like that was more, but you know. So these Gondorians, how do words work? These Gondorians are going to be like the typical, you know, chainmail, steel, black, push them out the door, normal Gondor type stuff. So though these kind of go together, not really. That's just a bulk project, like if I just want to pump stuff out. And now here we have well, on this half it's a bunch of unprimed standard Moria goblins. On this side, these all had, sorry about that, guys. On this side, these all had like blobs of paint on them, and I used some paint thinner to strip them away. That was a very dirty process. Here's a good example on this guy right here. So I don't know if you can see that well, but he's got some discoloration on him. Yeah, he's looking a little bit worse for wear. But if you throw some primer over him, he's going to look good as new, and you're not even going to know that he had paint on him originally. So that's a bunch. That's probably 45 unprimed goblins. That's a lot of goblins. Also, you know, I showed this before, but in there I already have some painted goblins already. I even bought proxies from Etsy. Someone 3D printed them for me because I'm like, I don't have enough goblins. I only have 24. Moria can be a horde army. Like if you don't take the Balrog as your leader, you can pick like a goblin chieftain or a shaman as your leader. But like you have to take a bunch of goblins because goblins are like really cheap and really weak, so you want a bunch of them. Anywho, so I bought some 3D prints on Etsy, and those were expensive per model, but they looked really cool. They looked awesome. awesome, and I wanted them just to buff out numbers. So, and I painted them in the same scheme as my regular goblins over there. But as is the case with everything, I found some great deals on eBay, and there was this one guy on Facebook Marketplace that I happened to talk to. He was in the comments section of some post I had liked or was participating in, and he's like, "Oh, I'm selling Moria goblins," and I'm like, "Oh, interesting. How many are you selling? What's the price?" He was selling like 70. He was selling 70 Moria goblins for, I believe, $60. He was in Germany, so 60 American dollars for 70 goblins is basically highway robbery. I mean, goblins they were made in bulk, and they're still widely produced to this day. So the market price is around $2.50 per model, which is on the cheaper end if you look at a bunch of other types of armies out there. So, but still, $2.50 is like the going rate for Moria goblins. But he was selling them for what, like, was that 75 cents each or something like that? And I did have to pay for shipping. That was the downside. The shipping cost was probably half or 2/3. No, probably about, a little less than half. Yeah, less than half of that total cost. So shipping was like $25 from Germany, which was like, oh, my heart. But even with the shipping, the cost per model was still like $1.25, which is 75 cents to $1 under other retail and other sellers online. So I was like, whew. So I didn't do an exact count, but that brings my total Moria Goblin Warrior, just the standard, box standard Goblin Warrior count, I think up to like 120 or 130 models, which is entirely too much. It's insane. So what I'm going to do is I will do research to see what is like a typical size. Because I don't play the game, but if I wanted to play the game, I wanted to be like, hey, I have models to use. I don't want to have to buy more in the future. So I need to find out what's like the largest common point value for goblins, for a goblin-centered army. I'll find that out. Then I will sell some goblins that are like extra. Like, let's say the number is, oh, you need probably 45 or 50 goblins. I'll be like, cool, I'm selling 70 of my collection. And I'll have a couple extra, like, oh, this list runs 4 more bowmen, or this other list takes mostly spearmen because of XYZ, like whatever strategy you want to do. I want to keep a couple extra on hand in case I need to like chuck those guys in somewhere, but like I can still comfortably sell like 60 or 70 models at that point, which if I go by market value, 60 models at $250 a pop is $150-ish plus shipping. That's some money. I have that opportunity to make some money. And if I paint them first, people might pay for the paint job. Now, they're small, and they only have like a couple parts to do, like middle torso armor. They have like some cloth that you can all paint the same color. The back of the knee pads, the shield you got to paint, and the face you got to paint, and obviously like the metallic sword and just a couple other dangly bits. So all in all, like there's like 6 different sections on the model you can paint, and you can bust them out pretty quick. Jokes. No, but from personal experience for painting these other ones I have, the time it's not that much time, considerably. So that might be an easy way to make some money. But who knows? I think that's basically it for now, I believe. Oh, so I didn't show you the final part. So there's all those goblins, right? Those are all unprimed. I have a couple painted in there already. You haven't seen the rest. This is the rest of the 140. Yep, these guys on the right, they're primed. Some have like stuff on the bottom of them that isn't primed just because they got like sprayed from above or whatever, so I got to go back over those and change them up. But those are like 90% to 100% fully primed, and these guys on the left are just have full paint jobs on them still. These might be ones I sell to make some money back. I don't know. I don't want to do all that work to strip them prime them and paint them, because this is going to be a huge project anyway. It's 140 models, and if it, let's just say on the fast scale it's 45 minutes per model, that's like 100 hours of work, like including cleaning up, priming, doing the base, painting, and then varnishing. That's like 100 hours just for goblins. And I have all these other projects I mentioned. Oh, my heart, it hurts. And I don't, do I have anything else, any other project I got going on? Oh, so I was going to use this, I didn't show this before, I was going to use this Games Workshop Warhammer 40k Chaos Demon as my Balrog proxy, but I found a real Balrog model, which is like legitimately like how the Balrogs look from the movie. So this is gonna be my primary Moria Balrog, and this guy, because he's already like he's like ready to go. I might find a paint scheme to make him into like a first age Balrog, like something under Morgoth or something, so I can have like a themed, you know, old-timey army, still with orcs and stuff, but just kind of like, it's old, you know. I don't know, there's so many things to do, so little time. Oh, my heart. But I think that's the update type stuff for the hobby. I mean, I got some basic materials like flowers and grass tufts and stuff. I bought these for cheap on Amazon. They stink, which is why they cost so little, but at the same time, like, money hurts. So I'm returning those. Those were really crappy. I hate those. Those were terrible. But these ones, pretty good. Pretty good grass tufts. Can't really complain too much. And there's a bunch left over. And these are pretty cool. Okay, so these ones I got on Amazon too. These are kind of just standard one size grass tufts. These are standard one size dead shrub tufts. These are awesome. They were wicked cheap on Amazon. I wish I could find the link and put that in here, but oh my gosh, those were cheap, and they look so good. Like, oh man, they look so good on these Nazgul. Oh my gosh, so cool, so cool. Okay, that's it. I've been rambling for a while. This is the end of the update video. Stay around, stay tuned. I'll see you in the next one. Deuces, and make sure to water your plants and water yourself. Make sure you're getting enough water in your life, because otherwise